Hello Year 8, this is what will hopefully be the last video lesson on A Midsummer Night's Dream. So a reminder where we were previous lesson, Aegeus, the father of Hermia, has gone to see Theseus because he is annoyed, very annoyed, that his daughter Hermia refuses to marry Demetrius, who he has chosen for her, and instead has fallen in with Lysander. And did I say fallen in with or fallen in love with? She's fallen in love with Lysander. And at the end of last week's lesson, Lysander dropped the bombshell that Demetrius has been busy romancing or making another girl, another woman, Helena, fall in love with him. So the very thing that Theseus accuses Lysander of, making a woman fall in love with him, Lysander is saying, well, Demetrius has done that too. And at the top here, Theseus replies, I must confess that I have heard so much. So yes, I heard that too. I heard that Demetrius has been romancing another woman, and with Demetrius thought to have spoke thereof. So I meant to speak to Demetrius about it, but then he says, but being over full of self-affairs, my mind did lose it. So I had too much on my mind, and to be honest, I forgot about it. But Demetrius, come, Aegeus, you shall go with me. I have some private schooling for both of you. So please come with me. There's something I want to talk to you about in private. For you, fair Hermia, look you arm yourself to fit your fancies to your father's will. So Hermia, you get ready to do what your father says, your father's will, or else the law of Athens yields you up. So the law of Athens insists that, and we should remember that the law of Athens insists that if she doesn't do what she's told, then this is her choice here. Look, where's the cursor? Death or a vow of single life. So you will die or you will become a nun if you refuse to marry Demetrius. This line here, he says, by no means which we may extenuate. So he basically saying here, look, it's the law. It's the law. There's not a lot we can do about it, to be honest. This is what's going to happen to you, and I can't ignore the law. Come, my Hippolyta, his fiancée, what cheer, my love, how are you? And then back to Demetrius and Aegeus, go along, come with me. I must employ you in some business against our nuptial, and confer with you of something nearly that concerns yourself. So I must employ you in such. So I want to talk to you about something, and I need your help with my wedding arrangements. Nuptial means marriage, wedding ceremony. So there's something I need your help with to do with my wedding. And Aegeus says, with duty and desire we follow you. So he's basically saying, we'll do whatever you ask. Then they all leave, except the beautiful young lovers, Lysander and Hermia. Lysander's concerned about Hermia. He says, how now, my love? Why is your cheek so pale? How chance the roses there do fade so fast? So why have you gone so pale? Where are your beautiful rosy red cheeks gone? And Hermia says, belike for want of rain, which I could well between them from my tempest of my eyes. So I've gone pale through because of lack of rain, but there is more than enough tears in my eyes to make my cheeks go red again. She's been crying. Lysander says, woe is me, for aught that I could ever have read, everything I have ever read in the history books could ever hear by tale or history, the course of true love never did run smooth. So everything I have ever read in the history books tell me that love is a complicated business. It never did go smoothly. And then he goes through a list of reasons why love doesn't go smoothly. So firstly, but either it was different in blood. So one of the problems that lovers face is if they are from a different social status. And Hermia agrees. She says, I'll cross too high to be enthralled too low. So imagine imagine if you are of a high status and you fall in love with somebody of a low status. Because remember, in this society, it's a very socially structured society, and you always married somebody of a similar social status to yourself. Okay, next page. Next page, here we go. Lysander talks about the next problem lovers might face. Just pick my notes up. Or else misgraft in respective years. So what if lovers are very different in ages? And Hermia agrees. Oh, that would be awful. Too old to be engaged, too young. What if you fall in love with somebody but you're too old and they're too young? And Lysander comes up with another problem that lovers face, or else it stood upon the choice of friends. So what if it's not your choice of lover? What if it's the choice of your parents, your guardians, or others? And Hermia agrees again. Oh, that would be hell, to choose love by another's eyes, so to have somebody else choose your lover. And then Lysander, getting even more depressed, says, if there were a sympathy in choice, so what if you did fall in love with somebody and they were a good match? And then he goes on to describe, well, even if you find a good match, all of these things could destroy it. War, death, or sickness, they could all destroy love, making it momentary as a sound. And here he comes up with a list of similes that describe how temporary love is, how it can be over quickly. Even when you've fallen in love with the right person, it can still be over really quickly. So momentary as a sound, swift as a shadow, short as any dream. Love can be over as quickly as any of these things, brief as the lightning. So love can be over as quickly as a flash of lightning. And here a man hath power to say, behold. So it's over even before you have a chance to say, look, the lightning has gone. The jaws of night is disappeared into the night. So quick, bright things come to confusion. So how quickly something wonderful can be spoilt, can be destroyed. So he's fairly pessimistic about love, isn't he? Hermia then is a bit more optimistic. She says, if then true that lovers have ever been crossed, it stands as an edict in destiny. So if it's true that lovers, it is fate that lovers, that love can be so complicated, that love can be over so quickly, then we must do the following. So she says, then let us teach our trial patience. So if it's true that we could encounter all of these problems, then we must be patient, because it is a customary cross, because it's normal. It's normal that we should encounter problems. As due to love as thoughts and dreams and sighs, wishes and tears, poor fancies follow us. So it is normal for love to encounter problems. It is as normal as here, on this line here, it is normal as dreaming, as sighing, which is kind of, these are all the positive sides of love. So it is normal to encounter problems, just as it's normal to encounter all the welcome and the beautiful things about love. Then Lysander says, a good persuasion. Yes, you're right. I agree with you. Yes, although love does present problems, it's normal, and we must be patient and overcome them. Therefore, hear me, Hermia. I have a widow aunt, a dowager of great revenue, and she hath no child. So we learn here that Lysander has an aunt who's a widow, so she has no husband. She's got no children. But she does have great revenue. Revenue means wealth, money. So he's got a rich aunt with no children. This is all starting to sound a bit convenient. And guess what? She lives just outside Athens. It says here 7 leagues away, which for us would be about 20 miles. And she respects me as her only son, so she treats me like an only son. Oh my gosh, what could he be planning? There, gentle Hermia, may I marry thee. And to that place the sharp Athenian law cannot pursue us. So that's his plan. He plans to go to his aunt's 20 miles outside of Athens and marry Hermia. And as he says here, if the cursor will play ball, Athenian law cannot pursue us, so the law of Athens does not apply at his aunts. Theseus and Aegeus will not be able to do anything about it. If thou lovest me, then steal forth thy father's house tomorrow night. If you love me, escape from your father's house tomorrow night, and in the wood a league without the town. So in the woods outside of town, meet me. And he reminds her where the woods are. It's the woods that he met her once with her friend Helena. So that's the plan. Meet me, escape from your father's house and meet me in the woods outside of Athens. And from there we will go to my wealthy aunts and get married. 3 questions on this slide, please. What is the simile, or what he uses quite a few. What are the similes that Lysander uses to describe how brief love can be, how it can be over so quickly? Secondly, what does Lysander suggest to Hermia? And thirdly, what does he actually tell her to do? Right, this app we're using started only allowing me to film for 15 minutes, so there is a second video after this one. Don't forget. To be continued.